play. So, but man, guys played hard, competed hard. These guys are hard to play against. They do a lot of formations, a lot of motions. Thought our guys did a pretty good job of adjusting to it in the game, and especially did a good job in the second half. So, really pleased. I thought Jalen played really, really well. They played trap down there, and you guys don't know what that is, but somebody zones off in the flat, and everybody's playing man to man. Something we do, something Pete does, and got fooled by that when he threw the interception. But other than that, I thought he really played well. He got a little dinged up, but he'd be fine. And I thought he showed a lot of leadership out there, made some good throws, we made some explosive plays. So we got to continue to try to create opportunities for our players down the field.
That is Coach Nick Saban.
Well, and like I said, I would give Jalen a solid B, maybe a B plus for that, because like I said, the three keys to the game for me was one or less turnovers from Milroe. He only had one. And then I thought they needed to rush for 200 yards and score 30 points. And late in the ball game when they were running out the clock, he nearly got the edge. And if he had got the edge and broke one more tackle, he's out the door. And then it would have been probably about a 70-yard touchdown run, and I would have hit all three. And selfishly, I was hoping that would be the case. But anyway,
of course you were. Of course you were.
But it did not happen. But it was. I still thought he was solid.
So I listened to you Friday.
Right.
Okay. I listened to you talking to Rodney, or I listened to you talking to Ryan
I was
Fowler.
not confident at all.
That's as down as I've ever heard you, period. And I'm guessing 7-6 did not make you feel all warm and fuzzy either.
Not at all. I mean, just because you have to score points. That was my whole mantra, because I knew Lane's team is explosive and they could get it going, and I was like, Alabama has got to score points, because that one series, the second series of the game, Alabama had some miscommunication. Ole Miss went straight down the field. They scored.
What did you see in that the spread out and dart up the middle?
Well, in the spread out and dart, they just spread Alabama's defense out, and the middle backer,
it's a little bit of what South Florida did.
You have to be able to stay home and spy. There has to be a spy on him, either one of the safeties or really one of the middle linebackers. And I think there was a spirited exchange on the sideline with Coach Saban and a couple of the linebackers, like, you guys have to be in the right spots, because Dart is a good player. He's not a great player. He confirmed what I thought. I think he's good. I don't think he's great.
Yeah.
But he's also sneaky mobile, like he can run, so you have to be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's not as an explosive a runner as Milroe's capable of being, because if you get misaligned with Milroe, but the problem is, and this is going to sound funny though, Dart, his timing in the running game is better than Milroe's right now. There are times that Milroe will wait a half beat too long to take off and allow himself to get tripped up.
It's a hard thing. When you compare starts, Dart has more experience.
I want to see how he evolves, because right now Milroe is not a natural runner. It doesn't look natural. Now, what he ddid yesterday that I liked, he ran with physicality.
He sure did. Although Bama quarterbacks can't slide.
I don't care. He doesn't need to be sliding. He's 6'2", 220 pounds.
But sooner or later, someone's going to hit you the wrong way.
Well, I'm sorry. He needs to deal some misery to folks. What he needs to do, and because that
I disagree with that.
The reason I say that, though, Steve, you have to send them a message so they don't want to tackle you. So maybe the defender is half a beat slow because he's like, in other words, he's making a business decision. By the way, my theme music. It was Custer's last stand, dog. I'm sorry, Dion. I watched that press conference too. Take the shades off in the press conference. You got the hell beat out.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
He was very defiant, but he got the hell beat out.
And
he's already talking about Dan Lanning. I'm keeping receipts because Lanning said we're about football. They're about clicks. Well, whatever. I mean, but I'm sorry.
Dan doesn't need to say that.
But he doesn't. But I'm just saying, if you run your mouth, and Dion, they run their mouth every week about something. Everybody is going to put a target on your back, and they want to humble you, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And he says they're not humbled. You better get me now. We're going to only be better. Well, you better hope so, because I'm just saying your mouth is writing a lot of checks that your butt better be able to cash in the future.
For someone who doesn't really run his mouth about opponents all that much, and he's down in Tuscaloosa.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
let your pad. What did I say all week? Alabama needed to let their pads and their helmets do the talking, and they did that against Ole Miss for the majority of this game, and finally got the offense going, and they shut Ole Miss down.
There's one thing that's just bothering me. There's one. I mean, trust me, there's a lot about college football that's bothering a lot of people. But in terms of strategy, I want to bring this up on the other side. I've seen it 2 weeks in a row, and it just bothers me. I'll have that for you on the other side. It's the Bama Recap Show, presented by Freedom Marine Center.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
There's nothing like the freedom you feel when you're on the water in your own boat from Freedom Marine in Guntersville. New or used, Freedom Marine has just the boat to make your time on the water the best it can be. Pontoons, fishing, ski boats, you name it. And all season long, Freedom Marine is giving away 4 packs of Alabama football tickets. Just log on the Freedom Marine Facebook page and like, share, and comment to be eligible. New and used boats, outboard sales, financing, service, and parts. It's Freedom Marine. Highway 431 in Guntersville and online at freedommarincenter.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Our Falcons play here.
If you want to be really blunt going into year 3, it feels like a real team around here in Flowery Branch.
Our Falcons are ready to battle all season long. Our Falcons take to the road for Game 3 as they travel to Ford Field to take on the Detroit Lions today. Catch each and every Falcons game here.
Listen to Atlanta Falcons football after the Bama Recap Show, noon Central Time. Week 3 action on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
I can't wake up.
Get ready to rock at Toyota Field.
Baby, sounds like something I do.
6 premium concerts are coming to Toyota Field this October.
So
Tickets start at just $20. Check out the lineup now at ToyotaFieldConcerts.com.
There's nothing like the freedom you feel when you're on the water in your own boat from Freedom Marine in Guntersville. New or used, Freedom Marine has just the boat to make your time on the water the best it can be. Pontoons, fishing, ski boats, you name it. And all season long, Freedom Marine is giving away 4 packs of Alabama football tickets. Just log on the Freedom Marine Facebook page and like, share, and comment to be eligible. New and used boats, outboard sales, financing, service, and parts. It's Freedom Marine. Highway 431 in Guntersville and online at freedommarincenter.com.
I didn't like playing them after they played poor. He's the best in the world at that. You would think that he would act one way when they don't play. I'm sure he said they didn't play well last week, down in South Florida, and he does a great job of getting them back and using what everybody says. All you guys saying the dynasty's over and they ain't any good anymore, and he uses that all week, and the guys come out playing really well, especially usually on defense. And they did that today.
That is Lane Kiffin. Post-game, it's the Bama Recap Show presented by Freedom Marine Center. Drew DeArmond and myself, Steve Moulton, we have as many wins against Nick Saban as Lane Kiffin has against Nick
0-4, and he's not nearly as smarmy in the post games he was all week on Twitter.
He looked mad.
Well, he was.
He looked mad. And he looked mad at the end of the game.
Well, and he tweeted it out, as he always does after the game, apologizing, saying we blew it and we thought we were going to win this year. Because that's why he put out all the stuff about Travaris Robinson and Kevin Steele trying to create controversy.
Well, that's why I went there in the teleconference on Wednesday. I asked Lane about Bama's defense, and I said to him, no matter who you think the defensive coordinator is, the talent on that defense, how challenging is that? And he gave me a really good answer on that, but I don't know if that was a little bit of a rope-a-dope. Okay, I told you I got a problem. Let me give you my problem. I saw this last week in the Georgia-South Carolina game. I saw this week in the Alabama-Ole Miss game. Am I crazy? I mean, just tell me I'm crazy, Drew. This would make me feel a lot better. After Bama's touchdown, chasing points that early in a game, it feels not right. That teams are chasing points this early in a football game. You know what I'm saying?
I was a little surprised they went for 2 because when they scored their first touchdown, it would have made it 16-7
because it would have
extra point. It gives you a 3 field goal lead.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was something they saw or just because they felt like they had a lot of momentum, but and gave Lane a little bit of his own medicine because Lane likes to do things that way.
That was a real chance.
And it was something that was even more surprising for this. It was right after Milroe got dinged,
and Simpson comes in,
and then he had to take the play off because the doctors had to come out. And so when they spread it out, I thought at first they were going to just try to spread it and then maybe and then call it off and then maybe line up and still kick the extra point and run the record on the field. But I'll just say this: it better work. And it was a really nice play call. I could tell as soon as they spread it out, they were trying to spread out Ole Miss's defense and run Ty Simpson on a draw. And it's what I've been telling people. Ty Simpson can move. They keep trying to say, well, Milroe can run the zone read. Ty Simpson can do that too. And he broke it. Now I saw the flag,
even with a face mask.
And I did not see the grab of the face mask at first. I just saw him kind of hesitate, and I thought, well, hopefully it's not a hold. And then I was told quickly, no, it's a face mask. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
And so, but I will say, I think it got Alabama even more momentum because it worked the crowd into a frenzy when they were able to do that. And I think maybe that's why they did it. They were trying to catch Ole Miss in something, and they wanted to get a touchdown and field goal lead, a true in other words, I think they knew.
But if you
deep down, I think Nick Saban and his staff thought that, okay, Ole Miss is going to score. We've got to score too. And it was surprising, though. I thought that they would just kick it.
Yeah.
But when they lined up, I was like, wow, this better work if they're actually going to run this.
And it's the second week in a row. The football gods thankfully shined a little brighter on Georgia last week against South Carolina because of a delay of game penalty, and that backed them up, and they kicked the extra point. But, again, chasing points this early in a game, this wasn't the fourth quarter.
Right.
I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. There's one thing of being smart, and it feels like another thing of just taking chances when you don't need to take chances. So the other play that I thought was fantastic for Bama Nation out there was the 2 holding penalties on one play that still resulted in a sack for Dallas Turner.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, when they threw those flags, I was like, wow, what is this going to be? Is this going to be some kind of weird illegal hands to the face or something and go against Alabama and either cancel this play out or is LSU going to get is Ole Miss going to get the break? But Alabama did blitz some, especially late, and really, and especially on the last play for Ole Miss. I mean, they really hit Jackson Dart, and that's what they needed to do. They make him throw the ball quicker. But I thought they also got organic pressure. They were able to just pressure him. Chris Braswell got him early. Make him feel you. Make him start to think, okay, I can't sit back here all day.
I thought Blackshire played well too.
No, they did. They pressured all game long, and that's what you have to do. That's why they did what they didn't do to Ewers. You have to come up with a scheme to move him off the spot. Because any quarterback, if he gets comfortable, is just going to be too long. I mean, it's just going to be like a death blow. You letting him sit back there, because that was kind of what hurt Randolph on Friday night with a guy like Mush. Even if he didn't take off right away, you got to get to him because man, once he does, he's dangerous. But he can also throw it from the pocket and be able to survey the field. And when you have a dynamic athlete like that or a really good quarterback, you have to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I thought Alabama made Dart uncomfortable. Now, he had a nice game. He didn't play horrendously.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they made everything tough except for that 1 second drive. Everything was hard.
Yeah. Ole Miss in the first half, 1 of 6 on third downs. Believe it or not, 1 of 6 on third downs. Second half, 2 of 8 on third downs. But fourth down was their best down, in my opinion. 3 of 4 on fourth downs. The only one they missed was that after that miss in the end zone when they went for it on fourth down. That turned into a sack, and that was your ball game. Johnny ball game there for Alabama. Alabama outscores Ole Miss 18-3 in the second half and winning 24-10, and now getting ready for Mississippi State. But this defense in particular, Drew, it feels like no matter who's the defensive coordinator, it feels like this is an elite defense.
It's getting there. I think the D-line took some steps forward. They had Otis back.
How did Jaheim look to you?
I mean, he was moving. He was playing. If you're playing, you're playing, okay? I mean, as a coach has been telling me all season, once the season starts, ain't nobody 100%.
That's
okay?
true. Yeah.
You got the medical staff's huge. You got to get guys ready to play. Jaheim played. Booker played. I think Booker playing probably helped Caden Proctor, even though they did give some reps to Pritchett. I mean, Saban made he didn't make an issue out of it. He just kind of somebody asked him about the offensive line, and he just said they came in with a plan to play both guys at left tackle. But I think it helped. But yeah, Jaheim played well. I thought, and I'll tell you who's coming though, Tim Keenan. Tim Keenan may be playing better than any of them. 96. He's a redshirt sophomore from Birmingham, Ramsey High School.
Yeah.
He was getting in the backfield. And, I'm going to use an old West Neighbors mantra, getting better. Well, that's what they're doing. They've got to get better every week.
Either getting better or getting worse.
I mean,
you're not staying the same.
So I think as a defensive unit, I think they're getting better.
Yeah.
I thought Caleb Downs had a nice game at safety for the true freshman. He did a nice job. They need to force more turnovers, but getting 5 sacks, getting the 1 interception, and Quinshawn Judkins only had 56 yards rushing.
He still doesn't look like Q to me from last
Well, if you
year.
heard my conversation with Rodney Orr on Friday,
I did.
There's some Ole Miss people that think he's just on cruise control. You know what I'm saying? Because of what he did last year, which doesn't mean anything now. I mean, I've seen guys fall off the
I would
table.
like to believe he's not 100%.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I did think Lane made a effort, and I think he talked about that in the post game, of getting Judkins the ball to start the second half and try to run it a little bit more. But I've never liked Lane's running scheme because he goes a lot of east-west.
Yeah.
And Malachi Moore and those guys did a great job. Terrion setting the edge. You got to set the edge against those guys because they're going to try to test you. And then they'll start trying to gash you up the middle. But I thought Alabama did a nice job on the running game.
Let's hear from Jalen Milroe. This is courtesy of Bailey Lowry, who covered the game for us. This is Jalen Milroe postgame.
What did that mean to you? Honestly, it was just another opportunity to play on Saturday. No matter what game it is, I try my hardest to prepare as much as possible, no matter the opponent. So it was just another opportunity to play on Saturday with my guys and my family.
You threw the interception in the first half, and it seems like you regrouped and played really well. Is that what it's all about, just how you finish?
It's all about our mental toughness. It's all about playing one play at a time. and it's all about how you respond. You know, that was key. That was key about how you respond. No matter what play it is, successful, not a good play. It's always about that next play mentality. So I try to approach that as I play the game.
And then that touchdown pass to Hale, you took a lick. How did you feel after that?
That's football, you know. That's football. But you know, we scored on the play, so it's it's good that we had a success on that play, and that's all football. Right
Was the wind knocked out of you? Is that what that was?
That's exactly what it is. He was coming.
Did you? were you able to see that it was a touchdown? Because you came up and you were really pumped up. I didn't know if.
I heard the crowd. I looked at the ref a little bit. He put his hands up. I was like, okay, it's a touchdown. That's all it was.
You ran a lot more designed runs in this game plan. Is that your wheelhouse? You buying that? Is that good or?
I think it was just a great call by the Coach Reese. As we talk about the game plan, we just approach it as far as we're both on the same page. So each play that I called, that was called, no matter pass, run, I was just confident. No matter what play it was, I was confident that he was going to call whatever play that he saw was best for the team. And so I was just ready whatever play was called.
Jalen, it's still early in the season, but how much of a positive step was this for this team?
Oh, for sure. Number one I want to do is talk about the defense. Defense played their butts off. They played hard for us all 4 quarters, and we pick up on their energy. They play hard. They play tough. They have great energy on the sidelines. And then their confidence, so that I honestly say that our defense is doing a great job right now, and it's leaning towards the offense. And then all we want to do is just continue to go one game at a time. We're going to appreciate this win because Ole Miss is a great team that we just played against. So we're going to enjoy the win, but also acknowledge how well our defense played.
The pass protection you got seemed a lot better in the second half than the first half. What were your thoughts about that?
All about communication up front, and also on my end, just communicating with them on the sidelines. And then also trusting in them. Those guys work their tails off throughout the week, communicating with me what they see. And then, like I said, we're a team. We're a family. So it's all about communication. That was key for our success today.
Was it?
I do wonder, that's a little bit of Jalen Milroe post game, as it's the Bama Recap Show presented by Freedom Marine Center. Whether or not the defense was giving the offense a little bit of a motivational talk at halftime as well of, hey, let's pick it up.
Well, I mean, obviously they needed to pick it up. They needed to finish drives. I thought they came out aggressive. Now, for the 3rd straight game, they had a touchdown call back.
Yeah, that's now 5.
McClellan walked into the end zone, but they got called for holding, and you could pretty much see what was going to happen, that Alabama was probably going to have to settle for a field goal. But again, that's when that happened, I was just lamenting, okay, Alabama has the lead, for the second time, but they keep having to settle for field goals. Are they ever going to score a touchdown?
Yeah.
I thought it was a huge load off their backs when they did get the touchdown and 2-point conversion. When they were able to, hit Jalen Hale and get into the end zone. I thought it was huge. And it was like, just a weight off everyone's back. And I think the defense relaxed in a good way, though. I think they just settled in. They had a really good feel for what Ole Miss was doing offensively. And I think they did a great job. And, I felt like, especially with these new clock rules, that they made Ole Miss earn every yard. And even when Ole Miss was threatening to score late, Steve, they were running out of time.
Yeah,
I
know. I've went there with Lane the past couple of weeks, and he's talked about, well, why do you want to go to a concert and have 2 less songs? I get that. I understand that. But it does make offensive guys have to tighten up, at least game plan-wise and strategy-wise, what they do.
It does, no question about it. And I just felt like once Alabama and they cashed it in, that the touchdown drive to go up 24-10.
Yeah.
When McClellan went in, from about 8-9 yards out. I just thought that kind of broke Ole Miss's back because they were able to get a 2-score lead.
Let's talk to Mark. You can call in too, 256-576-4977. That is provided I know how to answer this telephone. How are you, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, roll tide. Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, 2-touchdown win, I'll take it. I wanted to briefly talk about Georgia and the UAB game. Of course, I called the Georgia upset, the UAB upset. Did
you really?
You know, remember early in the year before we got started?
I forgot about that. I was in Athens. I was at that game yesterday.
What did you think at the half?
That was 28-14 at halftime. Georgia, to me, does not look like they're all on the same page. Georgia looks like they are still figuring it out. And the good news for Georgia is they have till November to truly figure it out. They have some nice pieces, especially on the defensive side. But offensively, I think they're still figuring it out. What's your opinion?
Well, I mean, just I can look at it objectively, right? And to me, it looked like they're more vulnerable on the defensive side. Like UAB, of course, is.
There was some movement stuff that you are going to see Auburn do this weekend. There's no doubt.
Right. And what got me was sort of those slant plays, where UAB would get space and separation, and then Kirby was, of course,
it was a great game plan from UAB. It really was.
Yeah.
And then the turnovers that happened, I mean, everything fell pretty good for Trent Dilfer's squad.
Yeah, and clearly they were overmatched and everything, but I just thought that I was surprised, I guess, with the Georgia defense, the separation. So when they play in the Southeastern Conference, it's going to be interesting.
UAB got 336 yards of total offense against that Georgia defense.
Right. And I guess from an Alabama standpoint, I really think that was the coming out where the Alabama that we're going to see a hope, and I really do think the rest of the year.
Oh, there's no doubt the better defense is in Tuscaloosa. I mean, the better defense is in Tuscaloosa.
Let me ask you both guys this, and I'll hang up and listen. Alabama may have the better defense, but I think in today's, college football, never thought I'd say this, but I think championships will be won offensively. You're going to have to put up enough points in the big game when it counts at the end. And do you think Bill Rose and this Alabama offense can grow enough to put up 30 or 40? And I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you,
well,
Mark.
that's the biggest question. I mean, it's still more of it's a boom or bust type thing. Make big plays vertically, but then you also worry about the turnover aspect and the execution in the red zone. Because, and what I mean by execution in the red zone, even if you don't turn it over, if Will Riker's having to kick too many field goals and you're not scoring touchdowns, that's what you worry about. I worry about Milroe when the field shrinks because it's easier to defend him, easier to hem him in from a mobility standpoint, and then you have to make the right reads, which he did not in throwing his one interception in the game.
Best quarterback in the state of Alabama. I saw him yesterday. He was in Athens. He plays quarterback for Trent Dilfer's UAB Blazers. And I'm telling you, Jacob, Zeno, he is smooth, makes the right decisions. Even the one pick he threw yesterday was off of a tip ball that went off of his wide receiver's hands. So I'm just there's a lot to like there with Zeno. I know that's not Bama recap, so let's get back to that. But I did want to look around the conference, and Mississippi State, that's one game I did not watch last night, was the South Carolina-Mississippi State game. I'd like to get your thoughts on that. It's the Bama Recap Show, presented by Freedom Marine Center.
There's nothing like the freedom you feel when you're on the water in your own boat from Freedom Marine in Guntersville. New or used, Freedom Marine has just the boat to make your time on the water the best it can be. Pontoons, fishing, ski boats, you name it. And all season long, Freedom Marine is giving away 4 packs of Alabama football tickets. Just log on the Freedom Marine Facebook page and like, share, and comment to be eligible. New and used boats, outboard sales, financing, service, and parts. It's Freedom Marine. Highway 431 in Guntersville and online at freedommarincenter.com.
Hunting and tailgating season is on us, and at Woody Anderson Ford, we believe it's time you got serious about an F-150. We've got nearly 150 to choose from, and without a doubt, one of the best F-150 values on the road today is our STX package. You get 290 hard-working horses, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission that'll take you everywhere from that tree stand to downtown Tuscaloosa. Body-colored bumpers, halogen headlamps, 20-inch machined aluminum wheels, and lots of tech too, like a rear-view camera with dynamic hitch assist, which you boaters and RVers will love. A 2023 Woody Anderson Ford F-150 STX packs a punch, but doesn't cost a bunch. You can drive one for $499 a month. $499. 36-month lease with $52.10 due at signing. No security deposit plus tax, tag, and title. Includes $399 dealer fee with your good credit. Offer ends September 30th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Injuries at work happen all the time in Alabama. So do motor vehicle and slip and fall accidents. If you're hurt at work or injured in an accident, I want you to call my good friends at Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. That's Pond, Lehocky, Alabama's injury law firm. They got your back just like they've got mine. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond, Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Our Falcons play here.
If you want to be really blunt going into year 3, it feels like a real team around here in Flowery Branch.
Our Falcons are ready to battle all season long. Our Falcons take to the road for Game 3 as they travel to Ford Field to take on the Detroit Lions today. Catch each and every Falcons game here.
Listen to Atlanta Falcons football after the Bama recap show, noon Central Time. Week 3 action on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
There's nothing like the freedom you feel when you're on the water in your own boat from Freedom Marine in Guntersville. New or used, Freedom Marine has just the boat to make your time on the water the best it can be. Pontoons, fishing, ski boats, you name it. And all season long, Freedom Marine is giving away 4 packs of Alabama football tickets. Just log on the Freedom Marine Facebook page and like, share, and comment to be eligible. New and used boats, outboard sales, financing, service, and parts. It's Freedom Marine. Highway 431 in Guntersville and online at freedommarincenter.com.
It is the Bama Recap Show presented by Freedom Marine Center. He's Drew DeArmond. Steve Moulton back here with you. Appreciate the fine folks at Freedom Marine Center for being our presenting sponsor as Bama is a winner 24-10 over the Ole Miss Rebels. I did watch quite a bit of the the Texas A&M game.
Jimbo needs to get the hell off the field.
So I didn't realize the 12th man meant Jimbo.
Yeah, I was shown a photo. Dirtneck's out there just about to tackle somebody. I guess Olin told him to.
Max Johnson looked fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, because Connor Wegman got hurt and was out of the game. That's what happens.
An ankle injury.
I will say, when you have an experienced backup, if you can keep one, which is very hard to do in this era of college football, good for A&M.
Yeah.
I mean, and Auburn has severe, offensive issues. I mean, I'm not sure.
Their only touchdown was a defensive score.
I mean, I'm just not sure they have a quarterback. I mean, Peyton Thorne does not look good.
I'm waiting for them to get better offensively because what is Hugh Freeze known for? Offense.
I'm just not sure they have the material. And you're seeing, too, when you have to bring in so many transfers. I mean, because pretty much most of their offense is not homegrown. It's just not working. And I'm sorry, they're going into just a situation this coming week, which is one that, even though they're at home, it is going to be very, very difficult against Georgia to generate offense.
So my dial scan, I stopped on the Vol network, and that was a little bit of a struggle as well for the Vols against the Roadrunners. And I don't know how.
Jeff Traylor's a pretty good coach. I will say that.
I don't know how good the Vols are this year.
I'm not sold on them. I'm not sold on Joe Moulton. I know they won impressively, but again, we'll see. I'm going to be real. And the game that I'm really looking forward to this next week is Florida-Kentucky, because I think that could be for second in the East. I still think Georgia's got the most talented roster.
Yeah.
But Kentucky's really played nobody. So
they took care of business yesterday against Vanderbilt. A nice start.
After a prominent friend of mine in the media told me that Austin Armstrong should be fired after the first quarter over in Utah, I mean, all I've seen is zeros, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the Florida's defense is playing really, really well. It looks completely different. Right now, Alabama and Florida may have the two best defenses in the SEC.
I don't disagree.
And I think Florida will beat Kentucky. Sorry, Jeff, But I do. I think Florida will find a way. Graham Mertz will take care of the ball. They'll run it, and they'll beat Kentucky.
That is in Lexington?
I don't care where it is. I like Florida in the game.
That's interesting. What else from over the weekend? Arkansas balled out. I thought KJ had a Steven Garcia type of game, albeit in a loss. LSU still finds a way to win.
They did, and Hayden's cousin Malik, he played another great game.
That's well put. Courtesy of Mel Kiper Jr. Missouri, tip of the cap to you, Missouri.
We're not laying a turd. Just win the game.
Thank you for that victory.
So Elijah's 4-0. There he goes. They survived. Hey, that's all that matters, man. Just keep surviving. I don't really know how good Missouri is.
I don't know either.
I mean, I think they're pretty good, but again, beating K-State, and Memphis is sneaky. So
your undefeated teams now are Missouri, Kentucky,
Georgia,
and Georgia.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I did not have that on my bingo card in Nashville, Tennessee. South Carolina, Mississippi State. What did you see out of that game? I didn't
see much of it.
Did you not?
Really not. But I mean, I was monitoring every game, and again,
let me take a look at the statistics.
Yeah,
here.
Will Rogers went back in time to Mike Leach
at 32 yards rushing.
Yeah, but look at the stat line for Will Rogers.
Yes.
Though.
Yeah. 30 of 48, 487 yards, a touchdown, and a pick.
Yeah, no, not many touchdowns, but still he threw for 487 yards, and so it's kind of like
they ran the ball. They ran the ball 23 times. They just got 32 yards out of it.
Right. Woody Marks got shut down a little bit, and so that. And again, that's probably going to be Alabama's challenge when they go to Starkville. They got to shut down Woody Marks and then pressure Will Rogers, which they've done in the past. And then Milroe has to take care of the ball. If Milroe takes care of the football, they got a chance to beat anybody they play. And then if he can hit a couple of big plays, but you've got to take care of the ball. And he's got to become more proficient in the zone read, when to keep, when to hand off. They've got to keep repping that. He's got to get better and improve. Otherwise, the instinct part of it, because, again, he doesn't look like a natural runner right now still.
Mm-hmm.
He did deal some misery, which I liked, but he's just got to get more comfortable, but hopefully he will. And here's what's going to be the other mantra. We've never seen him start a road game. Now, he did come in against Arkansas and do a good job in a difficult situation. But now he will start a road game for the first time as Alabama's quarterback coming up in Starkville on Saturday night at 8.
So Alabama was a 7-point home favorite against Ole Miss. The Magnolia State Tour continues. I'm going to say
I'll say 14.
Bama's at least a 14-point favorite.
I would say that, probably, based on the way we've seen State struggle the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, the good news for Bama Nation is your head coach is still your head coach.
Yeah,
and your defense still looks like it's a fingerprint from your head coach.
Well, and I'll just say MVPs for me in this game were, I would say Jalen Milroe. He played well, but Jace McClellan getting the 100 yards. And then defensively, definitely, of course, Malachi Moore, Terrion Arnold with the pick, and did a great job. Dallas Turner. And then special teams, you got to give props to Will Reichert and James Burnham.
All right, not enough is being said about the dependability of Will Reichert, because for so many years of Nick Saban teams, kicker was always such a big question mark.
And a quick one, Deontay Lawson, maybe a high ankle sprain. We'll see. He may not be available this week. He missed the second half. But Blackshire played well. Trez Marshall was okay. He's got some experience, been on the field, so we'll see. And then Jahad Campbell had his best game. He had 7 tackles, so we might not see Lawson for a week or two.
Yeah, he had to step up in a big way. Thank you, Drew DeArmond. This is Steve Moulton signing off here. We've got Falcon football coming up as the Falcons take on the Detroit Lions. We'll see whether or not Atlanta can be 3-0. Sorry, Wolverine Dan. We'll talk to you tomorrow for more reaction from you, from Talking Ball to the Morning Blitz, as well as the Tom Abraham Show, and, of course, The Drive as well. It's another full week of shows in store for you. Have a great week, everybody, and roll tide.